Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or otherwise you can donate to my ministry and the charities that I support at garethcahoon3@gmail.com on PayPal. This one here is about the notorious Nazi cult doctor Joseph Mengele, and the Swiss intel unit is to unveil secret files on the butcher. The secret file of the notorious Nazi doctor Joseph Mengele will be unveiled to the public, the Swiss Federation Intelligence Services announced last week. Known as the Angel of Death, Mengele advanced the Nazi ideology's racial ideology and carried out torture and experiments on prisoners of the Auschwitz concentration camp. Unlike many other Nazis, he evaded capture after World War II. In 1949, he fled from Europe to South America, where he lived until his death in Brazil in 1979, reportedly by drowning, and it couldn't have come sooner. In 2005, historian Gerald Wetstein requested access to the archives to determine whether Mengele had visited Switzerland in 1959, a move that ultimately led to the file's release. He sought to determine whether Swiss authorities had secretly approved the Nazi doctor's entry into the country. The documents had originally been sealed until 2071. It seemed ridiculous, Weinstein said in an interview with the BBC, as long as they are closed until 2071, it fuels conspiracy. Everyone says they must have something to hide, he said at the time. The Mengele file was created by the Swiss Federal Prosecutor's Office, the predecessor to the Swiss Federal Intelligence Services, in 2011. It was transferred to the Federal Archives, although the intelligence services continue to block public access. The most recent request for its release was reportedly submitted in February 2026, following internal consultations. The matter was ultimately resolved in line with the 2001 Federal Council decision calling for a more liberal access policy to federal archival material. The release of the file comes amid broader scrutiny of Switzerland's conduct during the Holocaust and the wartime economic ties with Nazi Germany. In 1996, the Swiss government established the Independent Bergier Commission after facing a lawsuit from the World Jewish Congress, which accused Switzerland of withholding assets belonging to Holocaust victims. The Commission reportedly also examined the status of the Mengele file. NDB announced that Weinstein will be granted access to the Mengele file, while stressing it would be subject to conditions and restrictions that still need to be defined. Requests for access to archived documents require careful balancing between the interests of research and the public on one hand and existing confidentiality concerns on the other, particularly the protection of sources and information from partner intelligence services, Swiss intelligence stated. Sascha Zala, who heads the Swiss Society for History, does not believe the file will reveal anything substantially new about the Nazi doctor. It shows the stupidity of the declassification process without historical knowledge, Zala said. In this way, the administration fueled conspiracy theories. Historian Jacob Tanner argued that the secrecy concerning the Mengele file constituted a conflict between national security and historical transparency, and the former often prevails in Switzerland. It is a problem for a democratic state that these files are still closed, he added. Weinstein also expressed skepticism concerning the release file, saying I fear we will get a file that is more black than transparent, he continued. Why have these Mengele files been closed for so long? Maybe we will never get to the real truth. Christopher Huber, Executive Vice President of the International Auschwitz Committee, believes it is a good step for the authorities to declassify the file. For Auschwitz survivors, even many decades after their survival, Joseph Mengele remains a name that makes their hearts turn cold and sends shivers down their spines. Huber said, the fact that this very angel of death of Auschwitz repeatedly escaped justice and the courts and was able, probably for a period also, in Switzerland to live a largely relaxed and undisturbed life, still outrages and pains them to this day. Declassified Argentinian intelligence files indicate that authorities were aware of Mengele's presence in Argentina in 1959 and the years after before moving to Brazil, but failed to coordinate efforts to apprehend him. The document also suggests that he was able to live under assumed identities with little effective interference from law enforcement. This alone is a crime against humanity. This man should have been locked up or else killed by the execution stake for his crimes against humanity. This man was evil personified. He operated on twins. He done cesarean sections on pregnant women without any anesthesia. He done brain experiments, the likes of which Frankenstein would have been proud of. This man should have been caught, hung, drawn, and quartered for his evil intent. The Nazis were an evil, despicable, genocidal organization. And Mengele was the worst of that ilk. He couldn't have drowned any sooner. Perhaps, maybe, it was someone that did the drowning rather than let this evil scumbag get away with murder. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.